Ralph. This is Jocelyn calling you from SHP Bosch. I am head of customer service, and I saw the information that was posted in YouTube, and I would like to talk to you about it and hear your feedback and see how can we improve the service to you. I really appreciate it if you can give me a call back at 954 will be my cell phone, and also you can reach me at 954-7 or 954-453. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
So as you can see from that phone call, YouTube does work. I thought a couple times, what really is the benefit of YouTube? But thought about it, and come to the conclusion it's really to help people. It's to help the young guys in the field. It's to help the homeowners and even our peers. I talked to a couple of you on the phone, and it's always a good experience when I talk to you. I've been doing this over 20 years, and sometimes I see something that you do and I'm like, well, that's a damn good idea, and then so I start doing it. And I hope it's the same way with me, with my videos. I never thought I would get a manufacturer calling me and want to know what they could do to improve their service and their product, but I'm still waiting for the product manager to call me back on that one. And then I get homeowners calling me, as you'll hear from this voicemail I got.
Hi, I saw your video. I was very impressed. It's a shame you're not in New York. I could use you. I wonder if it's possible that you could just give me a ballpark figure of what one Mr. Slim inverter costs with 2 units in the house, a low-level house, it's on the ground floor, and the residential house, and 2 9,000 BTU units. I'd like to know a ballpark figure with the cost and the installation cost. Thank you very much. My number is...
Now at first he just wanted a price, and after talking to him, I gave him a lot of advice about what he should do, and it was different from what he was actually thinking about doing. So, a homeowner has a question. Maybe a guy was at their house. I have no problem whatsoever with somebody calling me. Now, if it's a out-of-state number, I probably won't answer it because I get a lot of telemarketers calling. But, if you're going to call, leave a voicemail, or you can even text me. I always answer my text, and if it's a voicemail, you leave a voicemail with a number, I'll call you back. So I do get a lot of calls, and they just want to ask a question, and they tell me, well, the guys in our area, they're really, really rude. They don't want to talk to us. All they want to do is come out and try to sell me something. So I had no problem with somebody calling me. Do I do this for the DIYers? Not so much. But my feeling is on that subject, whether they see my video or somebody else's video, they're still going to try to attempt the repair. Now, let's say, their unit's not running, and because of the videos they've watched, they said, well, it's got to be the capacitor. So they get in their car, they drive to a parts house, and they spend the $8 or $10 or $20 or whatever it is to buy a new capacitor. And then it's not the right part. Put it in, and it's not the right, there's something else going on with it. You know, that's their problem. If they want to drive around town looking for parts, who am I to say don't do it? I had one not too long ago. The guy did a lot of studying online. He changed 2 or 3 different parts. Still couldn't get the furnace to work. So his wife said, call somebody. So he did, and I went out there. He blew a fuse in the board and replaced it with a 10 amp fuse. First thing I did when I got there was I saw the red fuse and automatically knew it was a 10 amp fuse, and I asked him about it. He said, oh yeah, I blew that. And I said, well, you shouldn't have put this in here because you was going to ask for another problem, you know, a blown transformer. So first thing I did was put in a new fuse. And then found the circuit board bad. And he didn't believe me. After a furnace is simple. I mean, there's only just a few things that can be wrong with it. But I was able to diagnose it right away. Man, you got a bad circuit board. So he already knew how much the part was because he looked them up online already. And I told him, I said, well, your part that you can get online is actually cheaper than the part I can buy. He didn't believe me. So I put it on speakerphone and I called the supply house. Sure enough, they were $10 more than what he could buy it online for. And his jaw just kind of dropped open. He couldn't believe it. He thought for sure that we as contractors buy this stuff for really cheap and then go to a homeowner's house and, I don't know, rip them off. But that's not the case. We do have expenses. You know, I figured it up one time and it cost me about $10 when it's really busy. It cost me about $10 in gas per call. Then I have my insurance on my truck, my insurance for my general liability, the rent here at the office, and then tires for the truck, the oil changes, you know, tools, you know, and then I have to get paid. For me, my weekly check or whatever. You know, so by the time we're done, we're really not making the kind of money that people think we make. Especially us smaller guys. With me, it's just me. I don't have a helper. If I do an install, every once in a while I'll get some help, but generally, if I'm changing a coil and a condenser, it's just me. And I like it like that, because I don't have to worry about somebody stepping through the ceiling or not unclogging a drain line and have a flooded ceiling or something like that. So I like working by myself. So I mean, anyway, that's pretty much it. The YouTube thing, it's a wonderful thing, wonderful. Getting back to what the DIYers. Here's how I feel about that. Actually, there's not one person watching this video that has let's say their car broke down. There's not one person watching this that hadn't went right down to the auto parts place, bought a part, and put it in themselves. Now you ask a mechanic, and they'll say, you know, the same thing that we say as contractors. You know, you go to let's say AutoZone and buy a part. Well, the mechanic would be like, well, that part is not the same quality as what I can get. And the same thing I say about Home Depot. Let's say their thermostat. Their thermostat is not the same quality as we buy at the supply house. What you buy at Home Depot has a 1-year warranty, and what we buy at the supply house has a 5-year warranty. I was at a homeowner's house the other day, and his wife bought one from Lowe's, digital Honeywell, the 6000 series, for a heat pump, and it didn't have a common wire connection. So, because I was putting it in for him, because if I don't do it, somebody else is going to, or them, and then they do it wrong, and then they're calling me to come out anyway. But so I was putting it in, and I put in a ton of Honeywell thermostats, and I knew it had a common wire, and I was like, something's not right. And sure enough, where the common should have been, it said do not use this terminal on the subbase. So and the thermostat we buy, it starts with a TH. Well, the thermostat at Home Depot or Lowe's has an R in front of the TH. I guess that means retail or whatever. But anyway, that's just a little thing, little tidbit of information. So so if you're a DIYer and you want to try to work on your own unit, by all means, try it. If you get hurt, that's your own business. If you want to tear up your piece of equipment, there again, that's your own business. If you're willing to work on your own stuff, and then if it doesn't work, the repair doesn't work, and you want to pay, the guy to come out and fix the problem, what you caused, and then fix the original problem, by all means, do it. So anyway, that's about it. So thanks for watching.